Hi, everyone, and welcome to Compassionate Conversations, a video series created by HomeCare and Hospice and Total Senior Care to educate and support our community through short, meaningful discussions. In each episode, we sit down with members of our team and other trusted voices to share knowledge, experiences, and insights, all in a relaxed and approachable way. Today, we're joined by Becky, a nurse with HomeCare and Hospice. Becky, we truly appreciate all that you and our entire staff do every day to care for our hospice patients with such compassion and dedication. In this episode, we'd like to take a closer look at what a day in the life of a hospice nurse looks like, from the heartwarming connections to the challenges and rewards of this important role.
Sure. So I've been a nurse since 2010, and in 2011, my dad was diagnosed with metastatic cancer, and he passed away shortly after, and that completely changed my perspective on life and nursing as a whole. Um, I view this work as something sacred, and I feel honored to be with a patient and their family at that time. Coming into it, I definitely had to kind of switch the way I thought about things to deal with the high emotions. And if I treat it as something as sacred and walk into it with gratitude, it changes everything. Yes, I have had many, and I was trying to think of the best one to share. And I chose this because I have had several patients tell me this. Once they were diagnosed with a terminal diagnosis, they were ready to end it. They were ready to be done. But hospice has given them a lifeline and has given them hope. So they know they're dying, but they also say they're going to be okay. And that's huge, huge. Be present, focus on the here and now. You have to leave your personal baggage at the door and just focus on the situation that you have right in front of you. Sure. So we have different assessment scales that we use for folks that are nonverbal and or can't communicate due to cognitive limitations. There's something called a FLAC scale, and we use that for nonverbal cues. It can be how the patient's face is, if they're relaxed or facial grin missing or clenching their jaw. We also look at their vital signs. Are they breathing fast? Is their heart rate going quickly? Are they diaphoretic? Are they sweating? We look at posturing. Are they curled up in a ball? Are their knees pulled up to their chest? So we use that for our folks that can't tell us exactly how they feel. But as a nurse, I also use that for people that can tell me how they feel. I have had patients that say, nope, I'm not in pain, I'm good. But then when you look at them and you use that FLAC scale, their body is showing me something different. And that can open up a conversation about pain and to let the person know they don't have to be in pain. Yeah, so we use it all the time. And sometimes they're afraid to ask, sometimes they're stoic. Sometimes our male patients don't want to say how they're really feeling. But sometimes when you look at them and just focus on exactly what they're doing, you can open up that communication, and then they're more willing to talk about it and address what they're going through. Absolutely. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 visits for us to get that out of them. But that's the great thing about this place, is that we get to know our patients. We're not having a different patient every day, and they're not having a different nurse. When they call us, they know who they're talking to, and when they see us, we've already seen them before. So it's great. Most of our patients have already come to terms with their terminal diagnosis, but their family hasn't always. Every once in a while, we get a patient or family member that may be in denial. As their hospice nurse, it's our duty to be gentle with them, but be frank. They want to know what's going on. They don't want to be surprised. So we don't sugarcoat things. And I think when we have those tough conversations, and we lead them with a gentle hand, they're really appreciative, because then they know what to expect. It's just a phone call. Just a phone call or a inquiry on our website. And friends and family are always surprised when they can make the referral. They often ask, hey, I have this going on with my loved one. What doctor do I call to get them to you guys? And it's like, we don't need that. You can make the referral right now. And often they have like a sigh of relief, and then we get the process going. And I always say, we focus on the here and now, and we focus on quality of life, not quantity. And, they often are relieved because some of them have been going through such extensive treatment courses and surgeries and medicines and things like that. And they haven't necessarily felt great doing those things. Sometimes when they come to us, it's a breath of fresh air because they do focus on quality, not quantity.